Hi there. Today I'm going to start working on the rigging, and I have some questions for you. You've seen me do the mast in an earlier episode, and also the pontoons and the beams and so on, and the connector. So now it's time to get everything together so that I can start planning for the sails. First, I screw on the connector and the rest of the finished parts. I also add some fittings needed for the rigging. This line will pull the port pontoon in place. I melt all ends of the polyester line. This line will pull the mast in place. I make a prototype furler. For the head sail. Perhaps I should have made the central part wider. Do I need a bigger turning moment? What do you think? I need some channels for the lines, thus some drilling. I also need a control board for the cleats. That fits against the coaming. I seal the wood in the holes as I glue the control board. I need to make it thick enough for screwing. When cured, I can proceed. Test fitting. Before sealing. The board will be held in place with lines. These rubber bits will protect the varnished surface when I fit the connector to the deck. Now I can pull the pontoons in place from the cockpit. I add a removable head stay. Now I have all lines in place for the head sail. To measure the sail triangle, I add side stays. And I can start thinking about the main. I have a question for you. I have put stays on the lower part of the mast, as you have seen now in this episode, and they will certainly be enough to support the foresail. However, the forces on the mainsail will be much larger when the wind increases than it is on the foresail, as the mainsail is much larger. Thereby, the load on the mast will be substantial, and the mast might bend or break, and thereby it would be a good idea to have stays on the top end of the mast. The problem with that is that I might not be able to stretch those stays enough to support the mast in a good way, as the force that I lift the sliding Günter with is not very large. So there are some drawbacks and benefits of having stays on the top end of the mast. But what do you think? Should I put stays there or not? If you enjoyed this episode, please consider to leave a like